The Honourable Premier Tokita Langi today thanked the people of the island for their continuing support of events on the island during the Constitution celebrations and the Foreign Economic Ministers meeting held on the island 2 weeks ago, as well as other community events. Honourable Premier said the FEM meeting did raise opportunities that has already been explored by government regarding Niue's drive to develop the economy.
I found FEM very interesting in this sense that historically, for example, over the past 2 years, some countries like Samoa and Vanuatu have done extremely well. It means that they have put in place some, if you like, stimulus that has helped their economies grow, despite the world economic crisis and so on. And to me, taking that historical context of what has happened, I want to see whether we can, in fact, use that to create the sort of same environment here, enabling environment for the private sector to kind of think. But as I've already said, that we've got to have more tourists coming through here because that will help build and expand our economy. And I want them to use that to create more employment and so on. One of the things that I'm emphasizing at the present moment is employment for our young school leavers and people out there who want to come and work here. It's never been a policy statement on our part that we will do these things for people who want to stay here. It's always been assumed that people leave school and go and look for a job. And if they can't find a job, too bad, they go to New Zealand. In our case now, we're saying, no, that's not going to happen. We're going to look to see whether we can create opportunities, working with the private sector to see whether we can do that, adding value, if you wish, to some of the things that we have here so that when you go and have a look at the fence, we're adding value to that, all right? We created employment for those people up there and so on. Those are the sort of things that we're looking at the present time, but very, very specific and very, very targeted.
Premier Talangi said government's perspective is to continue developing the island.
Now, some of our neighbouring countries like that of Samoa have progressed rapidly in the last few years, and looking at Niue, it seems like, and we're hearing a lot of changes that has happened, and a lot of developments from this government. What are we going to be expecting in the next couple of years? Well,
over the next 6 months, we're going to start Marawai. We're going to start building the economic building blocks that we should, accommodation. We're going to start renovating some of the houses and so on. We're going to start promoting and marketing. And we're going to have a new air service agreement with Air New Zealand. So we should have more people come to Niue. And as I said, that will start building up the thing. Marawai renovations should take place fairly soon. And some of the other renovations of the old houses around should also take place fairly soon. I think there are also other projects that people are working on as well that should come into fruition next year. Unfortunately, I'd like to have these things done now. It's not possible. So we're going to have to start looking and gearing up for next year now to think. Let me also say that these accommodation facilities that we're talking about, not just for tourism, but also, say, for example, helping some of the old folks in their bathrooms and toilets and so on, is essentially job creation as well. Putting money into the economy, bringing in new money in and putting it in the economy other than what we have from the budget. So all of these things will add up. Now, I know some people will look at me and say, well, you've been talking about this for a long time. But as some of the people in the building industry will start seeing, it is starting to build slowly. And they will start to get more jobs and so on. And this is where, in fact, it all starts. It starts there. They'll have a bit of money. They will go out and buy things from the market and so on, importers and shops and so on. And that's how the economy builds. You know, we were talking in the meeting of the ministers, FEM, and I said to them, it's basically a translation of the economic activities that we're talking about into actually what actually happens on the ground. And if it's not happening on the ground, we'll know that. People will know that. But things are happening on the ground, and people do know that. And I'm looking very optimistically at what's going to happen in the future.
We will bring you more on this story and of the Honourable Premier Talangi's statement of the Mutalo Village Community event in our news bulletin on Thursday evening.